Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, there we go. Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Bad to Business. I am your host, SHYNEN SAFFRON. I hope everybody can hear me. If you can, let me know in the comments. I don't have my fabulous host, Jazzy, to kind of keep me on point. But I've had a lot of stuff going on this evening, so I'm trying to get ready. So I hope y'all are ready too. I got some things I want to talk to you about this evening. So come on in. Usually I have a little, a little warning about me coming on stage and stuff, but I am trying to get everything together. Hello, everybody. Come in, come in. The welcome mat has been laid down. Okay, so we are ready. I hope you guys can hear me. It looks like I'm connected correctly. I have a couple of things to talk to you guys about today. I got to be honest, today is not one of those times where I am readily available to deliver this message, but I'm always available for God. So when He makes a way for me to do what I need to do, I'm here. So we can hear you. Sorry, I couldn't be. Hey, Jazzy, thanks for checking in. Jazzy says she couldn't be here with us today. But she is checking in. And don't be sorry that you couldn't be here. One thing about Jazzy is she is doing some things. I can't wait to check in on Jazzy on some different things going on, and follow up with her. She will be on the next episode, but my beautiful co-host just is, she's obeying the rules and the laws of her journey right now. So I salute you, Jazzy, and I can't wait to follow up with you. And I know you got a beautiful testimony you want to share with everybody. So that's coming up. But again, I just want to welcome everybody in. Go ahead and come on in and let me get ready to talk to you about some things that I'm not really ready to talk to you about. This is going to be after following the last episode on Bad to Business of Patient Procrastinator. In that episode, I learned a lot about myself, maybe even gave some excuses and some reasons as to why we do some things, right? But we came to the realization of all that means nothing. Stop it. So while I'm in my stop it transitions, I am learning to hunker down and move forward with some things that I know I need to move forward with. The delivery of messages and all those things, and making better with my relationships, and maybe even cutting off some. So no longer am I procrastinating on those things. If you saw my post, I'm taking off those procrastination penny loafers, and I'm putting on my successful stilettos. We are ready to move on and step on to different type of ground. So today, hello everybody, come on in. I want to talk to you guys about some different things. As you know, again, welcome to Bad to Business. And as you know, my podcast is called Bad to Business, which stands for the B.A.D.D, is bringing all diverse discussions to business. We all have different POVs and different opinions about things, and it's really, this podcast is about whether we feel different ways about things, there's probably still a common ground we can come to try to make some type of a positive change, right? If we can just try to get past all of our different opinions and feelings about some things. And one thing that I continue to share is don't let your feelings get in the way of your purpose, right? So let's get out of those feelings, okay? And definitely in this episode, we're going to get out of those feelings and talk about some things that we really need to have at hand. So I welcome everybody in, and I want y'all to hear what we have going on tonight. So I'm going to revamp and say, all of those who are just now joining in, hello, welcome to Bad to Business. I am your host, SHYNEN SAFFRON, and I have a wonderful show for you today. We do not have our lovely co-host Jazzy, but she is on a journey, and we will be checking in with her later. But tonight we're going to talk a little bit about it. And if you followed my link and all those things that I try to highlight you guys on and keep you updated on, today we're going to talk about Snapped, right, by Hunger. True crime. I want to kind of talk about, and because we talk about diverse discussions and stuff, the first topic of conversation is a big one. I've been getting difference of opinions and diverse discussion about this, and I want to talk about how this whole thing surrounding the SNAP benefits and those who are getting them, those who are not, and what's going on. I kind of want to talk about that. And I did not want to make it a whole issue, right? A whole conversation. But to be honest, I found that there are some main POVs that come from this. There are some main things that we're not thinking about. There are people in certain situations that we just don't consider. And that's what I'm trying to bring to business. Yes, we all have a difference of opinion, including myself. But there are some things that we really need to talk about that are maybe causing some type of division in our culture, in our, way of loving each other, and our way of supporting each other, that I think that we really need to talk about. So without further ado, I am going to start the conversation talking on the SNAP benefits. So the three POVs that I want to bring to the table are about, now my POV is I am a working class who has received some SNAP benefits or some type of government aid. I have a caller who I'm hoping that, or I'm sorry, I had a follower who I'm hoping will be a caller on tonight and give her POV. She is a non-working class receiving benefits. And then we have the POV from a working class who does not receive benefits. So what I've learned in this research is the working class who is not receiving benefits has a very strong opinion about anybody else. Okay, to be honest. So they feel like they contribute the most and get the least, right? So I'm contributing, I pay my taxes, I do all these things, and I'm supporting these people who just want to sit on their butt and do nothing. I'm putting into a pot that does not give back to me. Because why? When I go to try to apply for benefits, I'm told I make too much money. I'm told that I'm not eligible because whatever, I don't follow or I don't fall under a certain bracket. Okay, cool. So now, not only am I upset that I can't receive the benefits or reap the seeds that I'm sowing, if you will, but I'm upset that the fact that I have to forcibly contribute to a pot that helps other people, right? And the research and discussion that I've become a part of, I have to say, and I did insert myself in this because it's just something that's, I believe, worth talking about, is that working class feels like, I contribute to a pot of people that have these needs, and they soak it all up. They don't really have the needs. They could really get out here and do what I'm doing. And I contribute to a pot that have these needs, and they waste them, right? They're not doing what they're supposed to do with them. They're not, um, they're just not doing what they're supposed to do. They're wasting them. In some instances back in the day, a couple of you may know of people who were flipping food stamp benefits, which means that they were, getting benefits, but they were selling them, right? So whatever the case may be, I won't get into all the nitty gritty and all the, things I know about it, because however you make your business is how you make your business. But they weren't using it for what they were supposed to. And so the working class who contributed to the pot and didn't get any of it, didn't get any benefits of it, felt some type of way. You're doing all this and you still sitting at home, not doing anything you're supposed to do, getting your hair, your nails done, and you talk about it. And it did happen like that for some folks. In the instance I'm talking about, you got people, the working class, who's contributing to a pot to folks who are not doing anything. And if you follow the podcast, you heard the last episode, where we talked about the patient procrastinator who just sits around and kind of figures out what they need to do and what they want to do, and they can kind of sit around and do that. So you got the working class who shows up, and I thought about this one day, and I said, you'll give money. Now, this is my POV. I am the working class receiving benefits when I need them. As of this point, I do not own rights to food stamp benefits. Let me go ahead and say that. But so I get it. You are contributing to a working class who's not doing their part, and yet you don't receive any benefits off of that. That this working class is sitting around, they gloat about how they're not doing anything. They made TikTok. To be real, they made TikTok by being at home, not doing anything, making jokes and making videos about how I ain't got no job and I'm sitting at home collecting this money. Now, those are the same people that are collecting money and benefits off of working class people. And I'm sorry, the statement I was trying to get to is, I made the statement that you'll give more money to people who sit and play with money than you'll give to people who will stand and work for it. Now, that's just my POV. Now, talking to another follower, and like I've told y'all, this podcast is about bringing all diverse discussions to business. You have a chance here when you talk in the comments and you participate and you call in or whatever to either change your point of view or change mine. I feel most times I'm feeling very strongly about what I believe in and what I've done research in, right? So, but talking to this follower and what she brought to the table, she is the non-working class receiving benefits. And like I said, I really hope she calls in, but if not, I know how she feels. We've talked enough about it to the point where I will give her POV. And I feel like it's a great one because, yes, I stand strongly in how I feel. Stand strongly in how I work for what I work for, all those things. And then when I go to the grocery store, I don't get the things that I want to get. I don't get the things that I worked for. Even the smallest and the simplest things that I may want to purchase. The stores are cleaned out. And I think that that's where a lot of us get really touchy-feely when the stores are ransacked, right? They've been ransacked and run through. And we feel like, yeah, that's the people who didn't work for anything get to just ransack the grocery stores. Cool. So I stood on that too. But since I cannot stand necessarily just with the people the working class that did not receive any benefits, but paid into the pot, I can't just stand with them because I, at a point, was at a time where I was pregnant with a child and working, but I needed help. And I went to receive some benefits, or I went to seek aid for at least, can you help me feed my kids? And I'm working. So before anybody wants to take a judgment on you just tried to get what you could get, blah, 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 I was still putting in the pot when I asked to receive something from the pot. And when I asked to receive something from the pot at that time, I was given $14 in food stamps. $14. Pregnant with a 2-year-old. And have put money in the pot. I think, matter of fact, let me be all the way truthful. I think at that time I had been wrongfully let go from a job, and I was applying for food stamps, but I had never applied for unemployment in my life. And just to not take y'all through the whole synopsis, it was more so of I had just lost my job and was like, what do I do? Got to feed my daughter. And then I'll try to get another job. And I applied for food stamps and was given $14, in which I called that man back, my representative, and I told him, you can go ahead and take this $14. And I believe I said the nice words of keep it. If I said anything else, it's not your business. So I probably shouldn't have said it. But I said, you can go ahead and keep it because that $14 that you gave me while I'm pregnant with a child and no job, that'll probably be the money I spend or the gas money I spend to even go get the food. So I'm really not even getting your assistance. So I stand in that class of I pay to a pot that I couldn't even benefit from. Right. So that's why I stand on my stance of, I pay to a pot. Y'all sit back, get your hair done, your nails done, you make TikTok videos, and you ain't got nothing to do. And you wave it in my face that the pot that I'm paying into is providing you this lifestyle. So what I'm bringing to you today, though, is I talked to a viewer who told me that not even a viewer, I'm sorry, a follower, somebody who follows the podcast and kind of talked to me about it. I see that you get really strong about your POVs, and I just want you to know that in this particular one, and I kind of sent it out. If you didn't get it, you probably wasn't paying attention, but that's okay. Follow more. You'll get more insight on how you can be a part of the conversation. But I sent it out and said, look, this is what I'm about to talk about, and I need some different POVs. This is my POV, where I stand. I've gotten some POVs from people of working class who don't get the benefits and they tired of y'all. I said it. And then I need some of y'all to come to me and tell me how you feel. I know some people who did receive benefits. So this particular viewer came to me and she wrote in my inbox. And I don't know if she'll be able to tap in today. She was going to go ahead and call in, which would have been a great way to show you guys how calling into the DM pod or the podcast hotline kind of plays into the show. But we will move on because I've learned resilience with this wonderful The Crew podcast. She did express to me how she feels. And one of the things she said is that, SHYNEN, people feel like it's so easy for me to take benefits and just receive these benefits and all these things. And what they don't realize is, for one, I don't even get the type of benefits that, and at this point, she has a 2-year-old daughter going on 3. And she said, what they don't realize is I've tried to look for a job. I've tried to look for jobs that aren't hiring. And of course, I'm going after jobs that have enough money to pay for the resources I need, because I don't want to go after a job that doesn't, and I'm still relying on assistance. So I go after the jobs, and I've taken the training and I've got the qualifications. And I go after those jobs that say they're hiring but aren't, and we've all experienced that. They say they're hiring, but they're not, or they just don't hire you. She said, I don't have a car. So, of course, it's hard to try to get a job that, even if I have some money in my account from whatever assistance or maybe the father that's helping me or whatever, I don't have that resource to get a car to even be more diligent in finding that said job. Okay, so I don't have a job. I don't have a car. Doesn't mean I'm not looking for a job and I'm not looking for resources to get a car. Plus, I have a 2-year-old daughter who's not yet ready to go to school, so I'm still teaching her as a mom. And one thing that she explained to me, and it's funny, I want everyone to think about this at some point in your life, even when you get to a point where you might be at home and you might have to sit it out, wait it out. One thing that she's expressed to me, and I never really thought about, is she said, see, when the working class goes to work, you go to work and you're paid to do one job. One job. Whether that be, now that could consist of, now I have been an import export agent where after my one job that I clock in as an import agent, right? And I make these calls and I make these connections and I import the freight and I move it to where it needs to be moved to. And that's my job. And that's what I get paid for. But that's the one job. It's consistent. One thing she expressed to me is, being an at-home mom, I do multiple jobs, and we have seen memes and we have come to different things about how moms have to be doctors and they have to be lawyers at some times, and they have to be whatever the household or that particular situation calls for. So we're talking about even a working class mom who had to go to work, spend 8 hours on a job doing what they wanted me to do, and come home and do the 50 jobs that home requires me to do. And she expressed to me, while people may think that I'm sitting at home and I don't have nothing to do, I'm just sitting at home, I am not that class of people that just gets on TikTok talking about I don't have nothing to do. I am looking for jobs. I'm looking for resources. I'm teaching my daughter every day so that she can go to school and out of the house so that I can do these other things. I'm doing that. But unfortunately, she still gets the rap of the person that is not doing anything. She still gets the rap of somebody who's sitting back and accepting benefits. And what I learned is that's not fair. It's not fair. She's sitting back, maybe not sitting back. Let me change that. She is at home doing 50 jobs for her daughter or the rest of her children or whatever she's got to do for her situation. She is doing 50 jobs trying to connect this and connect that and get everything to connect to make something happen for herself, while we are going to work doing one job. What it comes down to is that they're just different situations and different scenarios. She is from the POV of somebody who is trying to make something happen. I am from the POV who's somewhat making something happen and still needing help. And then you got the POV from people who claim or feel like they make everything happen. And that's not even the case in any of our scenarios. This is where we got to bring this to business. bring this to business. So what I found is that okay, we all feel that it's unfair that we put into a pot that we can't pull out of. And one thing that I've stood on and I said to a couple of coworkers is, you got to make deposits to make withdrawals. So here's the unfair part, America, that we have made deposits in stuff that we are not allowed to make withdrawals from, or that we do not withdraw from and get benefits from. So let's stop being mad at mothers who are actually trying, or families who are actually trying. Let's see a need, feel a need, but at the same time, I get it. They are connected to people who take advantage of the system. You can't tell the difference, apparently. Neither can I, because I'm putting the same mother who's trying in the same pot as a mother who's not, and that's not fair. You're also putting the same mother who gives into the pot and only gets $14 worth of food stamps to feed two children, one coming, one on the way, and one already here. You're putting me in the same pot as somebody who's not doing anything. So when it comes to these SNAP benefits and you get all angry and you want to rah-rah the one who is able to lead and not read, is allowed to lead and not read. When you want to rah-rah him and talk about what he's doing, yes, he's making some financial moves that could benefit. That's the best I can say. You see all my movement to have to get that message out? Cool. So while we're condoning what he's doing, there's still something else you need to think about. Your parents did it. There were some things and situations that our parents and families have had to go through when they needed help. The stuff is not enough. The stuff they give is not enough. And where you want to say, well, work harder for it and do what you're supposed to do for it. It doesn't matter for other people who, I have a 2-year-old at home and I'm trying to teach her enough to go to school, because they charge extra for kids who go to school that are not potty trained, don't know their name and don't know their colors, can't name their colors. So while I'm trying to teach my daughter that every minute of the day, I'm also looking for jobs that are close because I don't have a car. I'm looking for resources where I can get a car with the little bit of assistance I'm getting while I'm pressing the system to give me some assistance. So that's where it starts. Stop judging people on what they need. It's a process. And everybody started with something that they needed to have, that they didn't have. And somehow they had to find a resource to get it, to get to the destination. Stop being that on people. And that's what I'm just trying to get out to people, that even it had to change my POV to listen to somebody to tell me that I'm not who you think I am. Even though I have a different POV from the working class that gets no benefits, she has a different POV and changed my point of view of, well, I look down on people who did need them and not trying. Yeah, she said, and you can think that of other people. And that's fine when you see they're not trying and they show up on your TikTok and they ain't doing nothing but showing body parts. Whew, thank you, Lord, for better words. Where they ain't showing nothing but, body parts and OnlyFans pages to get money. Where I'm diligently looking for a job. I'm not on social media. I may show a picture or two. She says I may get dressed to feel better about myself, to show my daughter that even when you're down, you can be up. I may do that. But what I don't appreciate is people like you or anybody else that talks down about people who are receiving or trying to receive benefits and not having a job, because all y'all think about is, I don't have a job, but I'm trying to get benefits. Do you know the struggle I go through to try to be better? No, we don't. We don't ask, because most of us, we don't know, we don't show, and we don't care about what's going on in the hood. Stop doing this to people. You have a negative opinion, keep it to yourself. But what you don't need to do is be workers of iniquity, where you get other people on your bandwagon about how you feel about something. That's not right. And again, this is what my podcast is about. bringing all diverse discussions to business. Yes, I had my own point of view, and I somewhat agree with the people, the working class, who is not able to go to the grocery store and get what they want. But as talking to this follower in this diverse discussion I was in, I learned that, guess what? No, I may not be able to go on the 1st or on the 5th or even able to go on the 10th and get what it is I want and I worked hard for. But I could probably go on the 12th. See, we got to put these stores in demand. You are filling the demand of people who are ransacking your stores. What about the people who are paying? So fill it if that's the case. But with that being said, those people who are receiving benefits receive them once a month. Some of y'all are getting paid twice a month or every week. They have to wait on their benefits. We don't wait on our blessings. So while you're being so mad about people who sit back, even those who are sitting back waiting and they think they cute, here's the way to not get so mad. You waiting on my money, whereas I make it and I can pull from it. Some of y'all got daily pay. Stop playing. Some of y'all got daily pay. Go pull your money out and go do what you need to do. As long as God keeps you from drowning, what that saying say? As long as God don't cancel me, I'll be all right. Worry about you not being canceled. Worry about that your household is being okay and everything is good for the time being. Don't worry about how somebody else is taking from your household, because if you look back, they really not. It's not happening like that. So as far as the SNAP benefits, and I told y'all I like to talk about different things. I was really passionate about that because I had a very passionate conversation with somebody who had a different POV from mine. And one thing I tell people is I can agree with you wholeheartedly, and then I will step outside of the box because I want to see that if I could agree with you, but if somebody has a different POV from me, how do I handle that? I can't just stand in what I say and be so strongly about that I don't give them the chance of saying what they need to say or give them a chance to express themselves. So I've learned that even in my POV, as strongly as I believe in it and I agree with it, and if somebody even agrees with me, cool. But let me step outside, because what if somebody approaches either one of us differently? Hey, what about this? And have you ever thought about that? And I can't just stand in, no, I ain't think about that. Nope, that's not what's going on. I thought about this. This is the way things should go. I guess that's how presidency is run. I didn't think about this and how things should go. I didn't think about consideracy of people. I'm thinking about how I will feel good and sleep at night. Cool, 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 cool. If you lived in a world by yourself, that might work, but that's not how we go. We live with other people. So I'm just saying, before you judge, just get a different POV. Before you just feel like you are the victim of, I make all this money and I give all this money to the pot and y'all just sitting back, you lazy, this, that, and the third. There are women, men, situations that people are actually reaching out for resources and they just don't have them. They've tried. And, I feel me coming up short on time. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take up all y'all's time. But with that being said, I want to kind of highlight one of my friends who is doing something for this cause. Her name is Keisha. I will be sharing a lot of what she does and how she does it for her community. But she is putting on things where she feeds family, and she feeds the homeless, and she feeds different situations where there are insecurities, inequities, excuse me. And she just makes sure that things get done for the community and nobody's left out. So one thing that I wanted to highlight tonight is her group called Inspire, and it's Inspire Together. It's in Riverside, California. I'm sorry, San Bernardino, California, but she represents Riverside, and she is putting things together where she is giving away food, shower access, clothing, laundry access, nail services. Okay, sis. Hygiene kits, art stationery, and more. And she puts these things together where you can come out and you can benefit from it, your families, friends, and everything. One thing she says, it's not one of those first come, first serve. We're limited to. One thing I know about her is if she runs out of supply, she'll go and get more. Yes, please. Those who need it. So we have Keisha, who's doing Inspire Together in San Bernardino, California. If y'all need some stuff, one thing, like I said about sis, is if you ain't got it, she'll get it. If she don't already have it, she'll get it. And that's what we need, people like that. I live in the city of Atlanta, where our mayor has just announced that he's not going to kick anybody out. He's not going to allow anybody to get kicked out in the month of December and January, even if you fall behind in bills, because you know what's going on with the whole government shutdown. Nobody's getting their bills paid, stuff like that. And he's doing things of that sort and making sure that people are going with versus without. Getting your money up, because we're already taking things before you get it. Let's be real. So getting your money up. Then we got the city or the county of South Fulton itself, who is also doing things like my friend Lakeisha, giving away free stuff. And, you know, you have your churches and your food banks. I encourage everybody to not feel like you are above or even beneath, but you are equal to these opportunities that our culture is serving. We are here to we are here to be fed and feed other people, is what the word says. So do not miss up on these opportunities where we are actually giving back how we should. This is what we should be doing. So South Fulton, I salute you for doing the things. Aldi, I don't know if any of y'all have Aldi, like some of y'all don't have H Mart. You really got to follow up on these stores, but because H Mart got some stuff. But Aldi's is actually lowering their prices for the season past January, so that families can afford groceries and stuff like that. This is where we have given so much and paid so much taxes. What are y'all giving back? So if you have grocery stores that's not doing that, maybe those aren't the grocery stores you should be shopping. Being real. If Walmart ain't lowering their prices and making it a priority that they do, then maybe not shop there. And I'm not finna tell y'all where to spend your money, because I am a tight consumer. Right? I have a price limit on what I spend on shoes. I have a price limit on what I spend. Man, when I go to websites, the first thing I hit is clearance and sale. It's just what I do. So with that being said, though, there are better ways to stretch your money. And yes, it is hard, even with talking to the follower about how to stretch even the little money she gets. Now, when I got $14, I could not stretch $14. I'm not going to lie to you. I just couldn't. I couldn't even see myself stressing to stretch it. But for those of y'all that are getting more than that, one of the things I told her is what might be fair. Let me bring this to a closing too. The resolution that might be fair is you might have to take from the families that are getting $900 a month because they don't need it, right? Because they might be flipping or whatever. I don't know. Census knows how to keep status of these people, but you may have to pull from that family that's getting $900 a month to provide another family with $100 a month. Maybe the government needs to go ahead and provide everybody a food allowance a month. That's where we get angry. How dare you provide so-and-so with $900 a month that doesn't work, and you got the working class that gets $14. This is where I and anybody else get angry. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to get angry, but we are going to think about a resolution. So this is what it comes to. Can we somehow get the government to give everybody an allowance a month? If you can give, again, you give people money to play with instead of money to people who work for it. Maybe we lessen, and you tell them, I'm going to have to lessen your grocery allowance this month. This is what we're doing. Not even this month, but you've been receiving $900. You're not going to get that. We're going to lower that down to $600. Well, that's $300 you done took from that family, which I feel like, they may be able to work with $600 if you call yourself letting me work with $14. But that's three families at $100 a piece that you've given that allowance to. 3 families at $100 a piece. Come on, government, you can do better. Stop making us so angry at each other when you could do better. It ain't just about slicing the families that need it. It's about having them understand that we are needing to share it with other families that need it too, so that we're not so angry with them. So let's slice that up, right? I'm gonna keep stuff moving. So yes, I did want to talk to you about those different point of views and the snapped by hunger and why we need to come to a actual mutual agreement. Bring this to the business table. It's not about those receiving benefits that we're mad about. We're really mad about the government giving it to them so free willing and not allowing the people who actually work for it to get any of it. So the median or the common ground, bringing all diverse discussion to the business table, is about not about the people who are receiving it, again, getting it from somebody, the government. It's about how the government will give it to them and not to anybody else putting in the pot. Why is it that the people putting in the pot don't get to pull from it? I'm a big believer about if you deposit, you should be able to withdraw. So talk to your local officials about that. Okay, moving on. While we're talking about, and I'm gonna get this up. Ooh, cutting into time. Y'all know I get real passionate about stuff. So while we're talking about Snapped, I just want to talk to y'all about this stuff going viral. Okay, this some of these kids have snapped. Why they want to snap and jump on parents and stuff while they trying to beat kids up at the bus stop and all this other stuff, right? Everybody done seen it. If you haven't seen it, you probably haven't been watching. If you haven't been watching, still salute to you, because you don't know. You've been missing some stuff that probably ain't gonna make you feel real well. So in the last 2 weeks, I have watched and witnessed a group of kids jump on a mother and child, or a mother and children, at a bus stop or at a some type of rest stop waiting on a bus, whatever the case may be, and these children have snapped and jumped on these elders as well as their children that they're protecting. I'm going to talk real briefly about this because I really don't want to talk about it, but I really got to, while we're talking on the issue of being snapped into reality, I've read a lot of comments, and now it's getting to the point where there are adults that are saying, please, children, if you're reading this, please don't jump on my kids, because like it's gonna get so ugly. It'll get so ugly. The video I saw in the last 24 hours about the mother who showed up at the bus stop for her daughter and they jumped on her. Last week it was the mother and her 2 kids. Y'all saw that stuff. This week, it was a mother who showed up at the bus stop knowing her daughter was finna get jumped, and she stood there, and one of the kids said, "What you mean I showed up for nothing?" And she said, "Yes, you did. You need to go on home." Told her daughter, "Get in the car. If you ain't seen it, listen to what I'm saying. You know, the algorithms will pick it up." But what I'm saying about this is, why y'all kids are snapped and don't understand that adults have a responsibility to their children, because you videotaping it and want to go live and want to go viral and be just somebody who is hyping and videotaping what the heck is going on. You got real people with real situations. I done lost my mama and my daddy. You think I'm getting ready to lose my kids? And I just lost both of them in the past 5 years. I lost my mama and my daddy in the past 5 years. And I still can tell you that I tell God I'm not stable enough to handle some, unnecessary stuff. I have 2 daughters, one in junior high and one in high school. So I'm showing up for my kids like these parents do. And you will not jump my daughters. It's not going to happen. So like these parents are saying in these comments, children, read this and read it very well. You will not jump my children. You will not jump on me and don't have no retaliation. Now, we are fortunate that in these last 2 videos we've seen gone viral, that children have not been really hurt. Honestly, it's the parents that's been hurt. You ain't going to see me in that video like that. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there like that. And I'm just going to pray God. I pray on discernment so God knows, to let me know there's things I just have to walk away from where he tell me, "Shining, no, come on back off of that." And I'll listen to God. I will. Because I know when he tell me to back up off of it, it's some stuff that I shouldn't even be dealing with. But these children have no respect and no regard. And all I'm looking for is for that one child to stand up and say, we don't do this. We don't, back up, run. Because in my day, we done all faced being jumped at the bus stop, somebody waiting on you after school. We done all faced that. that our mothers and parents didn't get involved from. And I ain't gonna lie, my mama showed up. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm gonna show up because that's what I learned. But we have been in situations where we done had to fight at the bus stop and fight after school. Cool. I done even been in a situation where I've been jumped by some girls and had to take my mama back because my mama said, "You been drugged." Oh, we're not doing that. Took my mama back to the house with my brother. Those of y'all who were there, you already know, and don't validate it in the comments because they don't even need to know the whole story. But I got jumped with my god sister. Had to take my mama back to the place, and what she had to let these young girls know is 3 sisters that jumped me and my god sister, and some dudes that jumped in, whatever. And what my mom said is that I'm here to get it straight. And I'm pretty sure she was protected. Back in the day, I was like probably about 18, 19. I'm pretty sure she was protected. But what she said was, I just want to get it straight as to why my daughter had to be jumped. What's going on? And do you know that these 3 sisters that jumped on me and my god sister and had all these resources to jump on us from because we at their house thinking everything was good. This was family home girls and they jumped on us, right? So they explained to my mom, "Ma'am," was the first line they hit. "Ma'am, let's be clear. This had nothing to do with your daughter. It had everything to do with the person that she was helping." But it was the fact that, and even as I recall that these 3 young ladies could have jumped. B, we don't care about you and your daughter, and they could have squabbled up with me and my mama. But they didn't do that. Somewhere down the line, they were taught better to respect their elders. And that's where it is where you see these comments coming in that you don't jump on your elders and let your kids know, keep their hands to themselves because they going down if they touch me and mine. And you may not understand that animosity, and you may even be given that animosity and don't even know that your child the one that's going to get you in that situation. Here's the bottom line. If we could see in these videos, and I think in this second one that we've been seeing go viral, there was one young man that finally showed up to the scene and was like, "Nah, stop it, squash it. Stop doing that." We need to see at least one child that stands up and been raised right that says, "We do not jump on adults. That's not what we do. Let her go, move." Nah. And you on video? Nah. We're not seeing that. So when you see these comments where they say, "Get your child or else you're going to understand that you're going to be burying your child," it's serious. It's serious because if you think that I went through as much as I've gone through as a single mom to pave the way for my children, I'm going to let somebody else drag me and her. That's not finna happen. That's not finna happen. And some of y'all parents need to get with your children instead of, "Hey, yeah, when I come out, I'm not even finna, I can't do it. I'm not going to impersonate ignorance." What I'm telling you is teach your child to keep their hands to themselves. Keep your child to respect their elders so that stuff like this don't go viral and teach and show our culture. The girl who was recording it and wanted to, because she on tape, Now we know who you are. I hope you're charged as an accomplice. I do. I hope you are. Because how dare you jump on a mother and her child? You are disrespectful, and your mama didn't teach you right. Because after these girls jumped on me, they respected my mama enough. And when my mama showed up and said, "I just want to know, do we have a problem?" And they said it didn't have nothing to do with her. My mom said, "I just want to make sure, because if it is a problem, let's squash it now." It wasn't her, "Ma'am," is what they said. Ma'am. They didn't jump on me and my mama when I showed up at their house. And if you watch The Perfect Neighbor, as I'm showing my daughter about how to do things right, The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix shows you don't want to show up at somebody's house unarmed, unfortunately. And I'm not bringing that up to glorify what's going on and what happened. But unfortunately, that mother showed up in defense of her child and was unable. So one thing that my daughter, "Mom, I know you rah for me, but can you please, if I forget something, if something happened, don't show up." I let her know I'm smart. First of all, I'm not showing up to somebody's door unprotected. I'm not, ever. If you see this face at your door, I'm not unprotected. Okay, first and foremost. Secondly, if I have to show up to your door for my child, you better be protected. This is crazy. Respect my children. Come and talk to me. And children, respect your elders. Go tell your mama. One thing I told my daughter is you will not disrespect an elder. If you feel intimidated, you feel disrespected, you come and tell the weight class because I'm ready to go. And I feel really passionate about this because as I'm watching these videos, y'all don't even know I'm shedding real tears about how the other people could feel, the parents would feel about what I'm going to do to their children if they approach me like this or they approach my children like this and I'm around. I shed real tears for the parents that said, you threw my child head through a window. I did. I was threatened. My child was threatened. I did. I'm not sorry when it comes to protecting me and mine. When it comes to pulling a pew-pew, I don't feel bad when I'm protecting me and mine. And like I explained to somebody, you mad because I'm a bully, I'm mad because you a bully. It's just as easy for me to pull something as it is for you to leave us alone. What are you doing? Stay to yourself. And I'm done with that. So again, know this. I will protect my children like these other women and families have protected theirs. And so it's best for you to, like these girls jumped on me, but they knew to respect my mama. Teach your children how to respect people's mamas. You have to catch them on another slide, on another day. You catch them on another squabble up. You do not do that in front of their moms. You don't have enough respect, then you're going to feel it. And your mama needs to understand that you had to feel it because you was there that day disrespecting. And that is that on that. Before I get way too emotional about how I feel on that, please, when they say teach your kids how to keep their hands to themselves, at least teach them how to respect it. And on the flip side of that, I seen the older sister of that whole situation that jumped on me and my god sister. I seen her about 2 years later at a gas station. Young lady walked up and tapped on my car window and apologized to me and told me how she realized that shouldn't have went down like that day. And how she's teaching her kids who were younger kids at that time, but I'm seeing them hop out and going to the gas station, she's teaching her kids how to make better decisions. And where I could be like, B, you lying. I'm trying not to cuss, but B, you lying. Because you made that. No, because she didn't have to see me apologize to me and even speak them words about how she making sure that them kids make better decisions. Well, I already know that she know how to respect somebody mama because she did it to mine. But if the better decision is when you got a problem with somebody, you don't let somebody else feed into it and make you do some stuff, because that's how it happened. And again, those who were there and know about the situation, you ain't got to even validate it for the comments. I mean, we got receipts. But it was foul. But I can salute the young ladies who respected my mother enough to not jump on me while she was there, not jump on my brother. Because one of the things that one of the other brothers said is, y'all jumped on her. Her family showing up, they got a right to be here. That's what I'm talking about. Clock that stuff. We had every right to be there because y'all jumped on me for no reason. And yes, I did bring my mama back to the scene of the crime, in which my daughter don't ever want to do that for me. And I get it because we're not showing up to somebody's house. That's what I'm teaching my daughter. But it's about, I knew something was wrong and my mama knew something was wrong. And she said, if there's a problem, we going to solve it. Y'all going to squabble up one-on-one with my daughter. But the jumping her ain't never going to happen again. And that's how that got resolved, for them to respect her enough to say it wasn't even about her. She jumped in and she was helping to help, whatever the case may be. And that's what had happened with that. So I'm just saying, if your kids had at least enough decency and respect, they could not keep their hands to themselves. And when your kids are defending themselves, understand, man, you got to hear the whole story. There's Carmelo and a whole bunch of other people that are defending themselves. Not even standing their ground. It's not your ground. To be real, God owns it all. You could walk away off that ground. If you can get away, like Georgia says, if you can get away, you're supposed to, and that's how they charge you. Message for those who didn't know. Georgia say if you can get away and you don't, even in retaliation or protection, you're still charged. So if you can get away, get that's stand your ground ain't even Like, come on. Like, just be smart. Don't be so strategic in trying to take somebody down. Be smart about how to bring yourself up. That's the bottom line to that. So again, I'm gonna get off of that. That was just about touching into that because that has gone so viral and I felt so passionate about it that I just had to talk on that and let y'all know that I'm one of them mamas. I squabble up, and I got 2 daughters in school. Please leave them alone. They are concentrated, focused, excelling, and I'm pretty sure that becomes a target for some of y'all. Don't be my target, and that's just fair. And that's just fair. Teach your kids how parents feel too. Hey, and I teach my kids the same way you feel something about another student. When you go to react, understand that they may tell their parents. So let's talk to a counselor. Let's try to resolve. And they may seem like the punkish way, but I'm trying to tell you it's the best way to live. Okay? All right. So last but not least, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I'm getting, I done past my time, but I hope y'all stuck long enough to hear this. And if you didn't hear it, trust and believe I will reiterate it at another time. I want to go ahead and let the cat out the bag since somebody already let his head out. I can't even say unfortunately because I've had a great run, but let's go ahead and do this. Bad to Business will no longer be with the Crew podcast. I was kind of waiting on that news, but like I said, since the cat has already been let out the bag, let me go ahead and let y'all know what's going on. Jazz and I are starting a new project and doing new things, different things coming up. And although I have enjoyed my great time at the Crew podcast, let me tell you, these women, we got the kings of the airways, Zachary Williams. You're phenomenal. I love the way that you express yourself and do what you do. The queens have really taught me about resilience and how to keep going. And if you've been following, I lost my dad this year. It was really hard. Letting go of him was like letting go of my mom that passed 4 years ago all over again. I felt like as long as he was married to her, she was still somewhat alive. So when he passed, it was just a whole nother world for me. But if you follow the podcast, go back, see what's going on and follow me, see what the journey's been like. And so I have been brought to now this journey. And God has told me that the Crew podcast has been very good to me and good for me. But it is time for me to venture out into some other things. So it's not a bad thing. I love what they've done for me. And I hope that if they have room for me in another season, I can come back and kind of do some things. But I know that I could not commit to the great things that they want to do and how they're structuring things. And man, y'all stay with the Crew podcast as they're getting ready to do some phenomenal things. But this is my time to kind of venture off. I hope that everybody can still follow me. Like I said, I will give links and other things to the things that you can follow me on. But Jazz and I will be doing a departure from the Crew podcast, and I hope that you will follow us on the other adventures we go on. So while Jazz is taking her break away and doing her things to do, I can't wait to follow up with her, and hopefully the next time I see you guys, I'll be following up with Jazz, and she tells y'all about her fantastic journey and her wonderful testimony about what God is doing with her and how he is a God of on time. It's not my story to tell, and it's still unveiling. So I can't wait for y'all to follow. But like I said, I will be sending out the links and doing all the things that we need to get y'all to follow up and hopefully support us on what we're doing. But as for now, I am going to close this out. And I just thank y'all for joining me tonight and allowing me to be, vulnerable and a little emotional about things. And this is a part of me becoming who I need to be. So thank you so much for joining me. I love you all, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode of Bad to Business. I am SHYNEN Saffron. See you later.